Hey, don't mind me, just floating by, doing a little exploring. Space is a wondrous and expansive place filled with mind-blowing and inconceivable beauty. And as we explore the cosmos, we continue to find more and more amazing things, but none more so than planets. In fact, we've discovered numerous planets that are both incredible and very strange at the same time. Here are the 10 strangest planets you won't believe exist. Number 10 is 55 Cancri E. With a name like 55 Cancri E, it's no surprise that it's one strange planet. Also known as Janssen, named after a famous Dutch telescope pioneer, this extrasolar planet has twice the diameter of Earth and nearly 9 times as massive. Orbiting a star that's somewhat like our own, it's what's known as a super-Earth, and was the first planet of its kind to be discovered around a main sequence star. But unlike our home world, which takes 365 days to orbit our sun, Janssen orbits its star in just 18 hours. That's because the planet is 25 times closer to its star than Mercury is to the sun. Being that close, Janssen endures temperatures of more than 1700 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt iron. In fact, it would also explain why recent measurements by the Hubble telescope indicate that the planet is covered in oceans of molten lava. Number 9 is Midium. Midium is 50 light years away from our solar system and has some mesmerizing features. In fact, it may be the first ever discovery of a new type of planet dubbed hot Jupiters. And no, that's not just because they're good looking, you know what I'm saying? They actually include massive gas giants which reach searing temperatures. Our own Jupiter sits much farther away from our own star, but hot Jupiters tend to be closer. This was a big deal because most solar system models up until that time predicted that large gas giants should not be close to a star. Midium's discovery turned that idea on its head. Astronomers believe that Midium is covered in a gloomy gray gas, but underneath this, the atmosphere glows red due to heat and radiation. Think about that, imagine looking up and just seeing a red sky. Many believe that Midium is close and large enough to later become the first ever extrasolar planet to be photographed. Number 8 is the Genesis planet. The Genesis planet is mind-blowing simply because of how old it is. Also known as Methuselah because of the Bible story about a man who lived in 969, the Genesis planet has that age easily beaten. This planet is a staggering 12.7 billion years old. That's so old it gets a galactic discount at IHOP. It's way older than most known planets and 3 times as old as Earth itself. Methuselah has some other quirks, including being the first planet to be discovered orbiting a star in a global cluster. What's more, the planet orbits not 1 but 2 stars. One of these stars is a pulsar neutron star which revolves 100 times a second. This has actually left scientists perplexed because such stars are the result of a supernova. That's an explosion which should have either destroyed or ejected Methuselah from the system. Number 7 is Gliese 436b. Gliese 436b is a strange exoplanet which has confused astronomers. This gas giant was the first of its kind to be documented and has been labeled as a hot Neptune. This is because it has a similar mass to Neptune itself. NASA detected clouds on this planet back in 2013, but it's what's happening beneath those clouds that's so strange. Gliese 436b is way hotter than scientists would have predicted, reaching temperatures of 439 degrees Celsius, which means something other than its nearby star is heating the planet. It could be a greenhouse effect, but no one knows. The other thing that's amazing is that this higher temperature causes the hydrogen and helium in the atmosphere to evaporate as the planet moves around its star. Theories suggest that this leaves a huge gaseous trail behind, making the entire planet look like a comet. You hear that? Every time you fart, you look like a comet. That's science. Number 6 is the Dark Planet. This planet, also known as TRES-2b, stands out from other discovered planets. It would be quite a sight if we could see it. This exoplanet is 750 light-years from Earth and has a low geometric albedo. This is a fancy way of saying that the planet's atmosphere reflects a tiny amount of light. My head has a low geometric albedo. In fact, the dark planet's atmosphere reflects just 1% of the light which strikes it, and some believe that it could be even less than that. No one's entirely sure why the planet is so dark, but one theory is that the planet has thick clouds of potassium or gaseous titanium oxide. These substances absorb a lot of light, and if they're abundant enough in the atmosphere, they could stop clouds from being reflective. Literally, even up close, this planet would be difficult to see. It would basically appear as a giant ball of black gas. Number 5 is 16 Cygni Bb. Just 69 light-years from our own sun, 16 Cygni Bb was the first eccentric Jupiter ever detected. Like a hot Jupiter, these planets get their name from our own massive gas giant due to being a similar size or mass. But eccentric Jupiters don't orbit their stars like Jupiter does. Jupiter orbits our own sun in a stable manner, maintaining the same distance from the sun as it moves. However, this planet has an erratic orbit and moves closer than farther away from its star. Because of this, its seasons are just all over the place. Summer heats can reach as high as 760 degrees Celsius, and then followed by bone-crunching winters of negative 250 degrees Celsius. This exoplanet's erratic orbit and mass means that it has probably collided with or thrown out smaller Earth-like planets to the far reaches of its solar system. In other words, it's unlikely we're ever going to find life around it because it would literally just throw an alien into space. Number 4 is WASP 17b. WASP 17b orbits a star in the constellation Scorpius and has a strange quirk that scientists thought was impossible. This planet has what's known as a retrograde orbit. This means that WASP 17b orbits in an opposite direction from its star. If you imagine a star orbiting clockwise from your viewpoint, then WASP 17b would be going counterclockwise. Astronomers have no idea why this happens, as models of planet movement up until that point predicted that all planets should revolve in the same direction as their parent star. One theory to explain this strange behavior is that at some point in the planet's past, it came into close proximity with another large planet. The gravitational forces then acted like a slingshot and propelled WASP 17b in an opposite direction. That's right, this is the rebel planet. It probably listens to Marilyn Manson and wears eye makeup. Number 3 is Deep Blue. Deep Blue, or HD 189733b as it's known, is 63 light-years away from our solar system, but you'll be glad it keeps its distance as it has a split personality. With a mass of 13% higher than Jupiter, Deep Blue is tidally locked. This means that, just like our moon, which only ever shows Earth the same side, Deep Blue always faces its star in the same direction. The planet is split down the middle, with one side in perpetual day and the other in perpetual night. This environment creates huge storms. The wind on Deep Blue travels from the day side towards the night side at speeds of 8,700 kilometers an hour. Just gonna do the math on that one real quick. Carry the 6. Yeah, that's fast. Seriously, that's 7 times the speed of sound. If those storms were on Earth, they would destroy every man-made structure and grind them into dust in probably seconds. Number 2 is the Lonely Planet. Hurtling through the universe 80 light-years away is the loneliest planet of all. Well, at least for those discovered so far. For years, astronomers speculated that there may be planets which exist outside of our star system. When the Lonely Planet was discovered, it proved once and for all that these rogue planets do exist. With no parent star to orbit, you'd expect such a planet to be a frozen wasteland. But astronomers believe that the Lonely Planet has clouds of molten iron and dust. Beneath them, time, due to internal forces, it's possible that the temperature could reach as high as 800 degrees Celsius. While rogue planets are often ejected from parent star systems due to incredible forces such as a supernova, the lonely planet is so young that it's more likely to have formed by itself. Someone give this planet a hug. And number 1 is WASP 18b. This planet is massive! Seriously, it has 10 times the mass of Jupiter and is just beneath that of a failed star such as a brown or red dwarf. But what really makes WASP 18b something special is that it has a spiral orbit. This means that the planet is slowly but surely getting closer and closer to its parent star. In our solar system, we see something similar with Mars's moon Phobos. That diminutive moon is 40 times closer to Mars than our moon is to us, and because of this, it will smash into the planet in 11 million years. This is exactly the same as what will happen to WASP 18b. Eventually, it's going to smash straight into its star in 1 million years. But the planet is actually fighting back. It's big enough to disrupt the star's magnetic field, which stops it from releasing bursts of X-rays. It's literally a cosmic fight to the death. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it in the future, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications for my new uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye now!